So anyway. I've done weirder for money. I've done not perverted things for money. I've done, for $100, I've gone out and moved irrigation pipe in an alfalfa field for 6 hours when I was a teenager. My shots are going nowhere where I want them to go.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
God, I remember going out to move pipe in an alfalfa field one time. Getting stung by a bee, like, in the face. I was driving in my truck going out there to do this. I remember getting stung in the face by a bee right as I was parking my truck, so I pull this stinger out of my face. My face swells up a little bit. Not a lot, I'm not, like, allergic to bee stings. It just hurt like a motherfucker. And then I had to go out in 100-degree Idaho heat and lift these, you know, irrigation pipes that when they're empty and hollow are 70, 80 pounds. But when they're filled with irrigation water are like 150, 200 pounds, and we just moved. I got paid $100 for like daylight hours to just move all these irrigation pipes from one section of the field to the other. It was just me and a bunch of migrant workers. Just all sweating our asses off outside. That was way worse than listening to Heroes. Ice gifts a tier 1 sub to Code. 2250, all rounded off. Thank you so much. Maryland Maverick, good morning. Dude, so you gotta know, Maryland Maverick. When I call Noah counselor, it usually means that we're fighting. When I call Noah counselor, it usually means that I have reduced him to his professional capacity within our relationship. It usually means we're about to start arguing about something. So if Noah's like, dude, you can't do that. And I'll be like, I can do that. He'll be like, well, you shouldn't do that. And I'll be like, well, it's my call, isn't it, counselor? And there'll be a long pause and you'll see him like, fine, do it. It is the equivalent of your mother throwing your middle name in there. If I call Noah counselor, it means that he and I are on the verge. He and I are on the verge of having a verbal row. So there's a part where you're like, call Noah counselor. I was like, I'm not even mad at him. Good day. I said good day, sir. Yeah, Lauren's done it. Moving pipe and picking rocks sucked. One thing that I think sucked as bad, if not worse, that I never really had to do, but my buddy Trevor would tell me about it. Bucking bales of hay. He would buck hay bales, and I was like, that's not so bad. And then one time he came to me and showed me a hay splinter that went like 3/4 of an inch under his fingernail, and I went, all right, that fucking sucks, never mind. I don't want to do that. At the very least, you know, the closest I ever got to being stabbed while I was moving irrigation equipment, the very worst thing that happened during the irrigation equipment, besides getting stung by the bee, was just that it was heavy as fucking hot outside. Yeah, that was through gloves. Yeah. Yeah, Maryland Maverick says the worst part is the bandana, like wearing the bandana to keep the dust particles out of your mouth. Trevor always did a really good job of making me absolutely never want to buck bales. I always thought that there would be a bliss to the repetitive nature of it, but it sounded miserable. When he described it and would show me like what his hands looked like, I was like, damn, dude, I'll move pipe, never mind. Yeah, like at least like the thing about irrigation pipe, I'd rather be drenched all day in the hot sun than itchy and sweaty all day in the hot sun. And I never got stabbed by an irrigation pipe. So like that was just brute force labor for 7-8 hours at a time. And there was a part of me that got to be like, oh man, that's so cool. I'm getting my workout in for football this season. I'm getting strong for football season. So you'd always do it during the summer when you needed money. But bucking bales just always sounded miserable. Like genuinely, I never had any desire. I never felt like I needed money bad enough to buck bales. Oh, get in my pool. You're slick. Yeah, you're slick, but you're not so slick that it washes the gunk off of you. There we go. Had to get my man down in the swimming pool. I was once stung in my forehead right between my eyebrows. I had to teach a summer class after that. Teenage boys don't let up when you suddenly grow a third eye. Yeah, if you get stabbed with an irrigation pipe, you're dying like a Bond villain. It's only gonna hurt for a second, and then you're not gonna feel much of anything. You get pinched, you know? You get pinched, and you get a lot of, like, muscle strains. Your lower back starts to hurt, like, really fast. And your shoulders, because you're basically doing deadlift over and over and over again. Depending on where you grab... This is gonna sound like I'm innuendoing it, but depending on where you grab the pipe, there are handles down, like, there's pipe, and then there's a little spray nozzle that comes out of the middle of it, and you can either go down to where the handles are, but at that point, you're squat lifting this, keeping in mind this is, you know, what, 10, 15, 25 foot section of pipe that still has irrigation water in it. So you have to lift the center hard enough for the pipe to bend for the water to run out. And then once enough water drains, you can carry it by the handles that are down by the bottom, but that's all the way down at the ground. The other alternative is that you grab it by the spray nozzle, which is about 3 feet of elevated, that thing that makes the like, you can grab that part, and at that point, you're just deadlifting. You're squeezing with your shoulders, and you're lifting this 200-pound segment of pipe, 300-pound segment of pipe. You're lifting it straight up until the water drains out. And then at that point, you can hand over hand the spigot until you get down to the handles. And then as you're walking, you're still carrying a 75-pound segment of pipe that's bouncing as you're walking. And then you carry it to the next segment of the field, drop it, you know, nudge it into place, lock it into place, and you move on to the next one. You do that for like 7 hours. So anyway, yeah. All that to say, I have done way worse for $151, and I think about that every time I go like, oh, I don't want to hear this song again. Oh, really? Would you rather work low voltage cable installation in a 163-degree attic filled with not very well secured fiberglass insulation? No. All right, then shut the fuck up. Voice inside Taffy's head. Oh, would you rather crawl down in the crawl space of some millionaire's house connecting HDMI cables to their outlets and come face to face with a rat snake while you're pinned under HVAC? No. All right, well, good. Shut the fuck up then. Shut the fuck up then, Taffy, and listen to the song. Okay. Working that shaft can do a number on your joints if you're not distributing the weight correctly. I know there's innuendo in there, but it's also very true. I pinched the fuck out of the web of my hand between the thumb and finger while fitting PVC pipe to the electric of an aircraft carrier. Fuck, I hated that job too. Sounds like it might have been better as a two-person job. Kind of, except you'd go out there, right? And as like a I mean, honestly, as a white kid who was just looking for summer work, you'd be out there surrounded by migrant workers who this was their year-round gig, was doing this kind of manual labor. And honestly, like, you know, the treatment of those people is fucking abhorrent, but it doesn't change the fact that every single one of them that I worked with was a goddamn machine. And so the last thing you want to be as the guy, wow, that guy shot his own gold at me. The last thing you want to be as the guy who's showing up as a tourist to this kind of work. Ooh. A guy who's showing up as a tourist to this kind of work is to show, and 20 years younger and a gym rat. The last thing you want to do is look around and see all these folks who are twice your age just manhandling these incredibly intense, heavy irrigation pipes and be like, hey, does anybody want to team lift this with me? Hello? These are show muscles. These muscles are for show. Does anybody want to team lift? Okay, hey, all right, hey, what's your name? All right, Miguel, you and me, buddy. All right, use your knees. On 3, uno, dos, tres. All right, hey, we got it. Yay, good for us. I'm exhausted. Let's take our mandatory 10-minute break. What are the bylaws of your labor union? I feel like at some point we should, do you guys want to go get, is it lunchtime? Can we go to Carl's Jr.? That shit wasn't happening. Their treatment was abhorrent, but it didn't change the fact that those people worked stoically and worked hard, and I couldn't show up. I couldn't show up and have like a 35-year-old squat woman. I couldn't show up and have like a 35-year-old squat woman lifting these 300-pound irrigation segments without saying a word, and then me show up with several years of high school gym muscle at 17 years old, and then whinge about how I really wish we were team lifting these things. Yeah, it's important to me, Twiggy Wings, because I don't want to sit here and vilify snakes out of turn. Right? Like, when that happened to me, because it was a rat snake, and rat snakes are fucking dope. Rat snakes kill copperheads, you know? Copperheads can actually be a legitimate issue. Copperheads are aggressive as fuck, you know, towards humans. So rat snakes are my hero. That doesn't change the fact that I was taken by surprise coming up from underneath an HVAC unit that had me literally pushing my chest against the ground so I would fit underneath it while it dug into my back. And when I came up to the other side, I came face to face with my man, who admittedly was just like, hey dog, what's up? New to the neighborhood, just moved in, my name's Rat Snake. I didn't make you a bunt cake or anything because no hands, but I just want you to know I'm really happy that you're here and I hope you enjoy your time under the house. I was cool, he was cool. I went, I have come into the wrong place. This is clearly where you live. And I backed out and left. But like, you know, Queeb has snakes. And I've tried very hard to be respectful. I've tried very hard to be respectful of people who love snakes and clearly don't want them vilified. You know, I don't want to vilify someone's babies. Oh my god. Dude, give me the fucking blood vial. What's wrong with you? I kept mouse wheeling through it. Okay, well, I'm in deep shit. Hold on one second. See, this blood doesn't hurt him, but I'm not gonna dance with this man anymore. Let's just get rid of our blood vial. I don't know what this is. Last thing I need to do is make him invisible. Then we're gonna go get some water. So I always make sure to say when I tell that story, it was a rat snake. Rat snakes are fucking awesome. I was just spooked because I wasn't expecting it. I didn't hurt the snake. But I did leave because I'm not a snake fan. I had a bad experience. But yeah, that was a job where I was getting $11 an hour to do things like crawl under crawl spaces and climb up in attics when it was 160 degrees. My biggest hazard in my job is alcoholism and depression. I didn't know about those workers. I was thinking more like bring someone with you. Nope, I was the only person who was in that field who, if I felt like I was wrong, would feel the entitlement necessary to go up to the owner of the field and be like, my work conditions are abhorrent. And he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. I guess you won't need to come back here tomorrow then. And then he would just go find somebody who was in the country illegally and be like, don't say shit and I won't have you thrown out of this country. And in return, you can have 20 bucks for backbreaking labor. Oh god, yes. I like to nap says biggest hazard in my job is other drivers and children pets on the road. People pulling a gun on you. Is that like delivery? I've done long haul driving as a theater guy. We'd load up and, like, you know, we had one show that we drove from Virginia to Buffalo down to Meridian, Mississippi, and back over to Florida and up again. So I've done like several days of 13-hour drives. And you do see some crazy shit on the interstates for that long. Richie, what's going on, dude? Yeah, rat snakes are great. Copperheads are fucking terrifying. They are aggressive little fuckers. I don't have any issue with any snake. I had to relocate them when I taught at a summer school and summer camp. Coming up, yeah, coming up on one when you're not expecting it. What's funny, Code? What's funny is that my boss, despite being like 10 years younger than me, because I was trying a career change. I didn't want to work in restaurants anymore, and so low voltage cable felt like a real job to me. But then I was making $11 an hour, and I was like, shit, I was making more money waiting tables. And so at one point, oh no! I didn't know you were there, you prick! I just knew that there was a lot of... gold falling down to me. That's like the third one of these guys we've found. So anyway, I took this job because my brother-in-law was doing that job. Still is. He's doing quite well with that job now. He has moved up the ranks in a pretty impressive way. But he was doing it, and I was like, damn, I need like a career. I can't just keep waiting tables. This is killing me. But then they hired me at $11 an hour. And then at one point, my man was like, hey, you got to go underneath the crawl space and take this run this HDMI cable from, you know, from the server room, basically, from the entertainment rack to the wall outlet. I was like, all right, cool, I got it. But I got to tell you, I'm not thrilled about going down there. And he's like, it's fine, dude. There's nothing interesting down there. It's just dirty. And I was like, all right, man. But I was like, I can't help but feel like this is a prime place for snakes to chill out. I was like, if I go down there and find myself face to face with a snake, I'm gonna be super irritable. And he goes, dude, I've been doing this for 11 years. I've been doing this since I was a teenager. Because he was only in his 20s. But he's like, I've been doing this since I was a teenager. I have never once run into a snake doing this job. And I was like, oh, for real? Like, I felt great comfort in that, right? He was like, oh, for real? You've never run into a snake? He's like, not once. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I feel better then. Kill him with the air puff. I just needed him to not be behind that stupid crate, or that stupid wagon. So I go down there, and sure enough, the one time that I have this exchange with my boss is the one time where I go down there and I come back up and go, dude, I came face to face with a snake down there. And he thought I was being funny. He was like, he had a little bit of like an underbite. He had like a little bit of a lisp. He's like, oh, come on, Ryan, stop that bullshit. Come on, you didn't run into a snake down there. And I was like, I sure as shit did. He's like, come on, man, stop being funny. And I was like, I'm not being funny. It was not funny. I didn't find anything funny about it. I was like, you make $20 an hour. You go down there and verify whether or not there's a snake. And he goes down there and comes back and goes, holy shit, there's a snake. And I was like, yeah, dog, I wouldn't lie to you about this. I'm not bullshitting you. Yes, there absolutely was a snake down there. He's like, I've never seen a snake before in a situation like this. Gets like Mad Max out there. Motherfuckers really do be gambling with their lives on the road. I mean, I have to make long drives to get to and from my in-laws, or to and from DC. And especially with my kids in the car, I've just reached a point where I just fucking don't take chances anymore. I used to be one of the people who was part of the problem. I had a bit of a lead foot, and I drove like I was gonna live forever. And I got into a handful of pretty bad accidents because of it. I don't do that shit anymore, especially not now that I have kids. God damn, dude. I need a digging wand. No wands, no potions to be had on this floor. Almost no money either. This is the opposite of what yesterday's run was. Yesterday's run was just nothing but unlimited possibility and oodles of gold. This run is me struggling to find my way around because everything is blocked off and I haven't found a single wand upgrade since I've been in here. How's the brother-in-law doing after the kidney transplant? I think okay. Oh god, that's what I was trying to get it to do. He seems to be doing okay. Recently he got his staples out. The staples were what was really giving him trouble. He was getting real frustrated with the you know, the discomfort of having the staples in and the itching. But I think he's gotten his staples out and he's starting, as far as I understand it, he's feeling you know, incrementally better by the day. Oh, he had staples from like right underneath his rib cage down to his like pelvis. It was pretty intense. I mean, he had an incision about like this, big enough to fit a fucking kidney in. My roommate has a 3-foot ball python. I always try to take like kind of a Steve Irwin approach, you know? I've watched enough Doctor Who to be like, you know what? It may look scary, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. So I lean into that and try, but you know. When I was a kid, my mom tried to coerce me into touching like a 15-foot boa or anaconda at the Memphis Zoo. And I wasn't feeling it. But she was just like, it's no big deal. The zookeepers are holding it. And I was like, I'm gonna go with a big no means no here, Mom. But ever since that day I found, oh, Jesus Christ. Ever since that day I found myself with like a zero desire. You know what I mean? Like, there's a part of me that's like, man, now that I'm a grown-up, ain't nobody ever gonna force me to do that. That day stuck in my brain pretty hard as like, you know, me being very emphatic about like, nope, my brain says no to this, and that was one of the only times my mom was just like, you can do it, you have to do it. We're not leaving here till you do it. And I was like, I guess we live at the Memphis Zoo now. I don't know what the change of address forms are gonna say, but this is where our mail goes. Because I'm not touching that goddamn snake. Yo, Fremery! How exciting, dude. Congratulations. That's amazing, dude. Oh, Amber and I were just talking last night, because I woke her up to let her know that I needed her help corralling Bug, because I'm the only person at the house who doesn't have the flu at the moment. And I'm trying so hard to keep it that way. I'm taking my meals in different rooms. I'm waiting for them to walk through. And then letting the fucking hallway... That's part of the reason I was 10 minutes late today. Amber had to go get Grayson, and he went to the nurse and said, I have a headache. And I feel tired. And she was like, well, is anyone at your house sick? And he's like, yeah, everyone's got the flu. And she's like, oh shit, well, let's send you home. So Amber had to go get Grayson, because I couldn't drive to go pick up a sick kid. And I haven't been hanging out with Grayson, because even though Grayson wasn't showing symptoms, he's been pretty gleefully just hanging out with his brother like everything's normal. And I'm like, my dog, your mother and brother are both very sick right now. Like, if you just go on like business as usual and don't just hang... I know you don't want to hang out with me, but if you don't just hang out with me, you're gonna get sick too. And he was like, meh. So the two of them got back from the middle school and were hanging out in the hallway, which is at the base of the steps that I need to come up and go to work. And they came in and like Grayson was like hugging his mom, was like, thanks for coming to get me. I love you. I don't feel good. And she's like, I know, baby, me neither. And I was like, hey, plague rats. Chop chop, daddy's gotta go to work. You're sad, he's sad, we're all sad, everyone's sick. You guys gotta get out of the hallway and you gotta open that front door and let it air out, because I can't walk through your death breath. Chop chop, daddy's already late. Get the shit out of my hallway, I got shit to do. When I was visiting Gatorland, I got my picture taken holding a boa. Went to the gator that was throwing teenage style. Went with the gator that was throwing teenage style tantrums. I'm imagining every hall in your house bathed in UV light like some sort of high-tech security system. You know, Amber and Rory have mostly stayed in the library, and I've stayed in the living room. I've handled dinner, so like last night, I don't remember what last night I ordered like $60 worth of Chinese food, hoping there would be leftovers that they could work on, like today and tomorrow. Dude, there was like one tiny plate of leftovers. We wrecked that Chinese food last night. Good, bad American Chinese food. The night before last, what did I do? Oh, the night before last, I cleared out a bunch of leftovers and I cooked the last Green Chef meal that we had. Grayson took one serving and Amber took the other, and they both cleaned their plates. But that didn't leave anything for me. Bug did ramen, and I just ate leftovers. But I've been setting them up with food. I've been doing food, I've been doing bedtime. I've been doing dishes. I'll probably end up doing laundry tonight. But like I'm oh no. But I am on my own until Amber gets better. But that said, when I'm doing stuff for them, like the closest I'm getting to them is to bring them food, and then night before last I took dinner standing in the kitchen. Night before last I took dinner standing in the kitchen. Last night I took dinner in the living room while they all stayed in the library. I'm trying really hard not to bring disease with me to MagFest. Shit, the collapsed mines do exist. I love that you called them plague rats. I feel bad because there's a part of me that like they've been very considerate and I've been very considerate. This is a joke. But there's also been a part of me that's been like, you know, as much as it pains me, I am also the only one. I'm also the only one who really genuinely can't afford to get sick. So I've been very isolated and very kind of on my own for the last several days, you know? And so there's a part of me that's like, hey, do me a favor and don't make it harder. It looks cool. You ever need, like, literally any help from the game? Couldn't be me. Thermal Knight, what's going on, man? I've been so deep into Hades, you know when you can see yourself getting better at something, but it's a slow increase? Kind of, yeah. I have to be reminded that sometimes I see myself do better at things, but theoretically, yes, I understand this. This is a slog and a half, man. Oh, I like to nap. Thank you so much. I feel like I am getting better at this game. I mean, it's just really just the knowledge of what in the hell's going on, but sure. Have your boys tried Noita? No. I mean, like, with them being sick, I've certainly not let them into my office. Aha! Not a great wand, but it'll do, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is what getting better is just the repetition. And the gathering of knowledge you didn't have before, I suppose. Yeah, the boys don't often get to spend time in my office, and they certainly don't get to touch my computer without consent. Neat. Brick! Oh, he gonna drown now. Ah! Oh, that's a good window to get out. Sorry. With you in a moment. This guy wants to come die in the lake, doesn't he? Man, you can feel it. You can smell it on him. Come on, buddy, come die in the lake. Taffy boarding up his office like the zombie plague is out there. I just, you know, if I hadn't committed any, like last year, Noah and I damn near came to blows over the extravagant hotel room that he okayed with my money without me ever having seen it, and certainly not signing off on it. And so I've got a bad taste in my mouth from, you know, being told that I owed $750 as my share of a hotel room I never saw before. And so every time I think of MagFest, I essentially think like, oh, right, that one con where I got conned. And so I'm trying to like release myself from that and go have a good experience with MagFest again. I'm trying to go have like a good MagFest experience. And the last thing I want is for the second MagFest in a row to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to MagFest. I'm gonna eat $1,000 in expenses because I got the flu at the last minute. So I really am. It breaks my heart. There have been, you know, several occasions where I've wanted to hug or kiss Amber, and there was certainly, I wanted to fall asleep on the couch with Rory last night, if I'm being honest. Like, I just wanted to hold him until he fell asleep. I felt so bad. But I am, you know, I'm choosing to feel like an asshole, but do what feels like the right thing. Because there is definitely a part of me that, like, I was like, I said to Noah, I was like, man, listen, if I have so much as a headache, if I have so much as a tickly throat, if I have so much as a tickly throat tomorrow, or Thursday, I'm gonna have to cancel and probably just stay home, or maybe I'll get better and I'll come meet you at the football game. And I could hear Noah being like, well, you could just go to and from the hotel room. You could just wear a mask. And I was like, I'll probably just cancel. And because that would be an incredibly uncomfortable conversation, because I know how Noah gets his hopes up on things, and, you know, when things don't go to plan for him, he gets almost, you know, not inconsolable, but you know, I don't want to be the, we joke, but I don't ever want to be the reason that Noah's disappointed. So if I could stave off having that happen, by treating this like the damn zombie apocalypse in my house, then that's what I'll do, because I genuinely, I used to love MagFest so much, and I'm just, if I were to get sick and miss this one, it would just become in my head a festival that wasn't worth the trouble. And I don't want to feel that way about it. It's one of my favorite gaming experiences. Kinda, it is like disappointing a golden retriever. Don't let me wipe my eyeballs with this. This is my bogey rag. There's something going on right here that's bothering me. We'll just go ahead and throw that away. I swear, like, Marilyn Maverick was just like, call him counselor, and I was like, man, I only do that when we're about to have an argument. And it is almost like a station reminding thing, almost like it's almost meant to be a dick move on my part, so I don't do it very often. Something going on? Yeah, all three of my family members have the flu. We all got flu shots, we all got COVID boosters, but apparently flu type A, because Amber got diagnosed. She had a test, she did a flu test with her and Bug. And apparently the two of them contracted flu type A, and I have to only imagine that Grayson got it as well. Like I said, Grayson was throwing caution to the wind, just hanging out around his brother like it was no big deal. But yeah, flu type A is making its way through our house, and I'm trying to be the only one who doesn't catch it. And I certainly don't want to go be the fucking outbreak monkey at MagFest for the flu. Oh, with the nose? No, I think I just have a booger. And I don't want to pick my nose while I'm on stream, so I thought maybe I could wipe it out with a Kleenex. That's it. Yeah, I genuinely just kind of have some nose crusties I'll have to deal with when I get off screen. Dig out that gold, baby! Flu A went through our house in November, then COVID over Christmas. That sucks. That super sucks. I had flu A like a month ago. It blows. Yeah, nobody in my house seems happy right now. Poor Bug, man. It's hitting Bug like a sack of bricks. That kid's having fever dreams. Levitation, more love, vampirism. Let's try it one more time. Trick greed. Wand radar. Probably wand radar. I like wand radar quite a bit. Oh my god, look, wands. Very glad I had my flu shot this year. Sometimes it doesn't help as much as we'd like. Yeah, I mean, you're playing the odds. Is picking your stream nose on stream not recommended? You gotta cover that in the panel. Listen, you do whatever you gotta do to make yourself money. We got people farting in jars and then selling it on stream. You do whatever you gotta do to make that, to secure that bread. You selling jar farts? Jar farts were like a thing for a minute. Jar farts were like legitimately a thing there for a while. I think Amaranth was doing it for a little bit. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think her doctor told her to stop because she was, like, literally hurting her body doing it. Yeah, if it makes you money and no one's getting hurt, then make your money. But I know what things that are typically considered tacky or gauche that I'm willing to do on screen, like eating. Some people get real pissy. Some people get real pissy with... Ugh. The spread on this. Ugh. Yeah, I just know what I'm comfortable doing on screen and what I'm not, and I'm not comfortable picking my nose on stream. I always tell those I made $5 or $5K a day thanks to Karen bot accounts on IG that I made more selling bottle parts on eBay. Yeah, this is actually not a bad spread of secondary stuff. So even though these hit less hard, I feel like it's even when you switch the wands, I feel like they're more concentrated than bubble. I'll use this like a shotgun to clear out a room, like go around a corner and just drop in like the Terminator. But otherwise, from across long range, matter of fact, I'll start like this. I don't know, maybe it's worth it. Hold on. I actually kind of like that better as a shotgun, and then this for lighter range stuff. I'm gonna try that. Now we are instantly kind of in the shit now. Oh yeah, Legolas. I'm in that room with Justin. It was funny because like at one point Noah was like, "Hey man, you know we'll figure it out. You can just stay in the room when you're not at the you can just stay in the room when you're not at the panel. You can just stay in the room when you're not at the panel, and then mask up and walk down to the room when walk down to the panel, do your panel, and then go back to the room." And I was like, "Hey, so I don't get Justin sick. Maybe you could just give me your room." And he's like, "My wife's coming to visit me." So yeah, no, I'm sorry. Well, he at that point he realized it was like, well, I'm not giving up my room so that you can not get people sick. And I was like, well, then we're at a bit of an impasse if I come down with flu-like symptoms. And at that point he admitted, he's like, yeah, we'll probably just have to burn that bridge when we get to it. He's like, you're feeling fine now, right? And I was like, I am currently feeling fine. He's like, all right, well, if you start not feeling fine, we'll figure out what the next steps are after that. And I was like, all right, that's fair. All right, well, that was fucking horrifying. Dancing between raindrops. I can't believe I'm at full health right now. Well, not anymore. Ah, fuck. I'm out of up, dog. Stuck in pixels. Yeah, that's right, I up-doggened. Like, I don't have the, I don't have the, attack power necessary to break that. Neither one of my wands had the attack power necessary to break a chain. So any enemy hiding behind a chain might as well be behind a Kevlar wall. What's up, dog? Nothing much. What's up with you? Hey, got him. Love it every time. ASMR, the idea of the ASMR category being so sexual as it is pretty disappointing to me. That ASMR feeling is great, but not sexual for me. I've been really enjoying some of the TikTok channels that I've fallen across. There was, There used to be an Irish girl who moved to Canada whose name I can't remember, but she and I actually became like friendly on the platform. This feels like there'd be health there. I have no idea if that's true. She and I actually became friendly on this platform. She doesn't make content anymore, but I really liked her stuff. She would do very quiet tarot card readings, and a lot of the ASMR noises were her shuffling the cards, fingernails on the cards, that of the cards, and just sort of the quiet talking sounds. The quiet talking sounds of just whispering to somebody. And I found a couple, like, TikTok's really been pushing those on me, and yes, it's beautiful women, because I feel like they know that they have the ability to excel, because there are people who sexualize it. But generally speaking, you know, it's people with very touchy mics that put filters on the mics, that put the big floofy mic covers on, and do, like, just kind of light storytelling, you know, light whispering storytelling while they do the effects. Gives me that feeling of, like, kind of falling slowly through water. And I adore that feeling. But yeah, the people who try to make it, like, you know, licking the microphone and whispering "ooh daddy" and shit like that, I'm like, I kind of want to put my finger back through the mandolin if that's fine. Yeah, Twiggy Wings, for some people, it is an instant sexual trigger. Can I spoil a tiny thing, Taffy? Use your best judgment. You've been here long enough now that I kind of feel like you know what my vibe is regarding that. Go back to where you thought there might be health, because there might be. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there are people who clearly know. Below you is a formation. I'd have to bomb it. I don't have any way to excavate that. Oh shit, look at that. Oh, as good as any reason. Look at that. As good as any reason to use the bombs. I'd really just rather have a digging wand. That is always something that's kind of like made me feel curious, was the fact that that clearly is a formation that's there for a reason, and the reason is that they obviously want you to burn that wood as though it's a fuse in Mission Impossible. But I've not always found stuff there, and I was like, oh, what a weird debate. I was like, what a weird debate, because obviously, you know, the time necessary to sit there and watch it burn down and all that jazz, I'm like, what a waste. But now, yeah, knowing that there very well could be stuff that's just like, it's there, but it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Readily apparent. You know? It actually makes me feel invigorated about maybe digging a little deeper the next time I see something where I'm like, man, it makes sense that something would be here, but I don't see anything here. Like the item falls into the gravel off of that scenario. Maybe it's just one of those things where they red herring it, but it's actually not a red herring. There actually is a thing there, but they want you to work a little harder for it. That certainly seems on brand for the Noita folks. Yo, wand radar's been great in letting me know that there are 0 wands on this floor. I appreciate the heads up. It eliminates a lot of the guesswork about, hey, am I wasting my time on this floor? And wand radar is like, yes, you absolutely are. Enjoy your wandless run, dipshit.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Bloodberry Tart! We were talking about you a little bit earlier. In a bad way, too. Just so mean. People were asking me about the, like, panels for MagFest. I said the only one I'm really, I'm kind of excited for one that Noah put me on about being, like, I have a theater degree, but I'm a neophyte to D&D. So he's got me on a panel as, like, you know, perspectives on how to make your D&D stories interesting. But my take is, like, I tell people what I think as somebody who's just gotten into it, but has been trained in storytelling. I've got another one that's about DMCA music stuff, and I'm like, whatever, I'll sit through that one. I'll sit through that one and be like, I made pretzel, and then I'll just sit and drink water until the time's up, until somebody asks me a question. But the one that matters to me each year is So You Want to Be a Streamer. Ooh, Billy. Because in that one, basically what I get to do is I get to go in front of a microphone and have the same conversations that you and I have been having for over a year now. Like, it basically... Ooh, shit. Ugh. Basically puts me in a spot where I get to do, a mass Q&A instead of talking to people one at a time.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I hate this bit. Ow, shit! Fun, love the nests. The funny thing is that Justin's gonna be on the DMCA one, and he's like, dog, I play whatever I want. He's like, do they want me to be like the before
this
photo?
Is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Justin's like, I don't know what they expect me to say. I'm the bad example, and I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe Noah just wanted to make sure he could justify the cost of your badge. Snake bitten tier 1 60 months, a soul draining day at work, done, time for taffy time. Snake bitten, thrilled to have you here. I'm sorry it was a rough day at work. Varel says the panel always ends up with the best stories because you always got the folks that are like, I've been doing this a long time, it's been almost 3 years, and then Taffy sighs real hard. On occasion, I've had a couple of those. Most of those are virtual. We had a big partner meetup. Bloodberry, I don't know if you took part in this. Twitch sent out a bunch of partner mixer, like, Zoom events that they invited us to. And so I got into one and was surrounded by all these, like, young, beautiful people. And I was like, oh, well, clearly all of these folks are, like, millionaires who are crushing it. And I'm gonna feel so stupid as the blue-collar guy who's barely making 6 figures. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm gonna feel so dumb trying to compare myself to all these, like, luscious-looking 24-year-olds. And then we got into it, and the entire thing was like, all right, we're gonna do a little meet and greet, and everyone's gonna talk about streaming and how long they've been doing it and why they got into it. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds easy enough. And then we got into the conversation, and the conversation was people going like, oh wow, I've been streaming for a while now. I mean, I guess I started back in February, and now it's April. Or, you know, people would be like, oh yeah, you know, I've been at this for a minute. I've been doing this for 16 months, and people would go, ooh, 16 months. Oh yes, very impressive. Wow, 16 months. And I mean, that's not to say that somebody can't surpass me in every knowable metric in 16 months. Absolutely. A good streamer, younger than me, more charismatic, better looking, better at video games than me, better equipment, more money to start. Absolutely can run laps around me in 16 months. It breaks my heart, but it happens from time to time. But I got into this Zoom call, and they got around to me, and one guy was like, I've been partner for 2.5 years. And people were like, holy shit, I didn't even know Twitch was around 2.5 years ago. And then it got to me, and they're like, what about you, Laffy? And I was like, and then at that point, like, you know, I just go ahead and say, my name's Ryan, everybody calls me Taffy. And I was like, I've been partnered for 7 years. And I've been streaming for 8.5. And you genuinely could have heard a pin drop because it was almost just like, well, he must be a chronic liar. Nobody's been partnered for that long. There was one girl who was just like, oh my god, I want to be you someday. And I was like, listen, sweetheart, that's adorable. And I appreciate you so much right now, but the pendulum has swung for you too far the other direction. I was like, there are some people who are kind of indignant about this right now. That one guy who thought he was hot shit because he'd been partner for 2 years, like he's glaring at the camera right now. And I appreciate the sweet thing that you just said about wanting to be me, but you don't want that, and I don't want that for you, darling. I'm rooting so hard for you, and none of my prayers or hopes have anything to do with you being me. I'm gonna need you to reel that back in before the universe hears it and decides to make a funny. So I was like, babe, my darling, you very sweet person. Please don't be me. I'm sorry to be peppering you with patronizing terms of endearment, but the southern protective in me is kicking in, you sweet summer child. I remember everything. Yeah, as I say, Sequisha's been at it for a minute. He's got 80-month subs. Brizzy cracked 3 figures this year. Justin's gonna crack 3 figures this year. I'm gonna crack 3 figures this year. My first 100-month subs will drop in June? Well, I mean...
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Bless your little heart. Taffy, have you wished Frost a happy birthday? No, I've been working. My day mostly started with me coming to work. Maybe after work I might do that. But I didn't set an alarm for 6:30 to wish Frost a happy birthday. I'm only just now learning about it, if I'm being honest with you. Someone told me they once wanted to be like me when they got older. I told them, no, you don't. There's a lot of trauma. You should probably set healthier goals. I mean, that was kind of my take for this young lady. Was I was just like, I really want you to find your own way. I was like, I want you to find your own way. What the fuck? I was like, I want you to do it your own way and crush it. Don't mimic me. I was like, find things that you think would work for you from me and copy them. Please have a better wand. That's at least more digging. That's kind of digging. Ugh, I don't want to, but I would. Is that Giga Sauce? I didn't even see that. Is that what that was? Oh shit, it is. No, thank you. That sounds terrifying. Arilka, tier 1, 18 months. Thank you so much. Veryl, thank you for the 3 months of gifted tier 1 something called duck soup. Being the only person not having the flu feels almost as exhausting as being one of the people with the flu. That man said you can't kill me if you aren't here. God, you're not wrong. That one's terrible. We're gonna go... Bombs are key. God, is there anything like... No. Maybe. I guess. That'll just be our teleport wand. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. I would imagine orbital modifiers stack. All these fucking wands are shuffle. I mean, not that one. Ugh. Woo, right. It's got the what do they call it? A curious flight pattern. Uh-huh. Right, got it. Yoink, 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 yoink. I want electric charge on something. But I don't have anything I feel like electric charge goes on. You know what I could do? Which one's better?
Hey man, those are bits.
Who did what now? Yo, 64-bit robot, thank you for the 64 bits. I wish I'd just kept that one spark bolt, you know? I never anticipated that we'd have such putsy... I never anticipated we'd have such... Homebringer. Well, balls hell, I don't want Homebringer. I picked this up in transit. It's an okay wand? No, I was doing this one because it doesn't shuffle. Fuck. This one is fine if it shuffles. I said one bit as a gigadisc for a joke, then someone said 64, and then you shot it, and I guess I should pay up. Question about the new setup with having your monitors placed on the top of each edge, or using a monitor arm system to mount some into the roof. No, I have a singular here. Is there anything I'm not supposed to show? No, not really. I guess we'll find out. I have a single post on the right-hand side. It's in the cave lounge. There's a single post connected to the desk that brings the monitor into a place where it won't block the camera. No wand shuffle try. Electric charge double. Bubble spark 2 light. Electric charge double. Bubble spark times 2 light. I can't have light on the electric wand because I'm gonna take the electric wand, or I'm gonna take the light wand into the tunnels and go get the extra health back. I'm gonna loop. It just dawned on me. I was like, why didn't I do that? And now I'm realizing why I didn't do that. I didn't do that because I need to be able to drop this wand and go swimming. Looks like I see something interesting in the sky. Oh, I should go get the refresher. Many, many bombs. All right. Let's go see what we can get up to. Wand number 2 has to get dumped before we can do any water exploration. That fucking sucks over there. I'm gonna be real with you, Chad. I'm feeling real underpowered right now. Not having that, having that be a Homebringer wand and not a teleport wand is hurting even more. What? My bullets went through that fucking thing. You can't lie to me. I need to see this fucking guy. fuck me. I'm not scared. You're scared. Ugh! Okay. I don't even want the wand, that's the worst part. Well, maybe. Maybe I want the wand, just not the spells, you know? Spell's good, wand bad. Or sorry, spell's bad, wand good. Ow, fuck. Oh my god, those are bullets coming down around me. Oh my god. Fuck. You ever just fucking want to leave? Flamethrower's doing crazy work. Yeah, listen, if I at some point can get flame immunity, we might just have to find a way to make this one work. I'm on fire. I hate me. I thought that would go farther. I mean, okay, I guess. I fucking hate this. That's more bombs than I meant to throw. If I'm being honest with you. He phased through this ice, you know? I'm out of up dog. Nothing much. What's up with you? Haha. Fucking got him. Oh, doesn't work like I hoped. Alright, well, moving on. I'm gonna die. Oh, it kind of worked. Look at this shit. Couldn't even escape.